Namaste. Prabhupada ki Shri Shri Parama Karuna Nitai Gaur Sunda ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinatha ki Jai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for coming together in this format. In preparing for this meeting, I was thinking, what should I say to you after all this thing? Is it possible? If it is possible,
Yes.
it is. Oh wow! Thank you. This is significant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It really helps. So I was obviously thinking, what should I share with you? Because after all, you might have noticed in my presentation, which I have given so far, I tried to pick a lot of suggestions, perhaps recommendations, tips, advices, whatever I could to enliven you. So perhaps I should just summarize what I came for. When I come to a summer camp like this, what I try to do is I try to pray to Krishna and to ask him what should I talk about. Nita Jivan, it's a good idea that you want less sound, but what is it? A flute is that? Sounds like Krishna's.
It's bolero, Maharaj.
What?
That's a bolero song.
Oh, somebody
Yeah.
is having a rehearsal.
Rehearsal.
Just play it on for.
So maybe we should in fact close it, but then what's with our oxygen? That is open. Yes, that door is good enough. Yes, please do close. Do close. And that we can open. Yeah. Oh, we can also tolerate. This is good to tolerate, no? What I try to do is, before I come to such a event, I try to imagine myself in your life, what you are dealing with in your life. I'm walking in the shoes of Murari Chaitanya in my imagination. I'm connecting with a few of you which I feel represent the rest of the devotees, and then I work on wherever I am and put my material together. Now this material which I presented this time, I had already given at two other occasions. One was Pandavasena mentorship, and the other was two lectures which I was invited to give at Sadhu Sangha to the young people. There is in America a very interesting effort. It's called the Youth Initiative. The Sangha Initiative. So I had given these presentations, but when I looked at them in Gora Bhavan, where I stay in Germany, I tweaked it or trying to put it in a relevant way for all of you with other examples, with other little stories, illustrations, and all these things which a lecturer does in order to help his audience to think about these subject matters. And So I came well prepared, a folder, and each lecture which I give is prepared, and it has version A and version B and version C. But the points are there already. The essential message is there. This is how I prepare. I do not just talk whatever comes to my mind. I think that is irresponsible in my role. I have to see what might help you, what might be interesting. So I feel now like a postman who has delivered his messages, his letters, and I think from the reaction I feel, I see, and I talk to a few of you. You have understood what I said. Also, those who were online have given me a response. So yes, my messages were received, and now it's up to my audience to decide and choose what they wish to do with these messages. And do they want to ignore them, or do they want to see what is good for them? Everyone has to make that personal choice. And this idea of making a personal choice, I think, is very, very important in Krishna consciousness. You know, the outside people and professors also who study us, they object to movements like us. They say in these movements there are very high authority structures. Older, more mature practitioners, the guru, and ultimately the highest authority structure is God. No? And they say that people who come into these movements give up their own independent thought, do not take responsibility. And they object to this. They say, Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, give up all forms of dharma and surrender unto me. This is a strict order, and devotees just, that's what they say, or members of religion in general, they say, okay, that is what God does, and this is how I understand, that is what God said, and this is what I do now. I was told to do this. But in judicial system, this doesn't work. You do know that my father is from the old Nazi regime, and the Nazis committed a lot of crimes, even here in Yugoslavia, and former Yugoslavia. As I told you, in the last summer camp, what's the name of this summer camp? In the desert somehow. Yeah, there is just next to the summer camp this place where 400 members of the Jewish ethnic group were brought together by the Nazis and shot. First they were ordered to dig their own graves, and then they had to stand at the edge of the grave, and then they were shot and fell in the grave. And later, so my father was in this generation, he did such things. And so later, the international community, America, France, etc., decided to make a trial, a court case against these criminals of war. And that happened in Nuremberg. Have you heard about the famous Nuremberg trial? Sorry?
Nuremberg trial.
Nuremberg trials, yes, a very famous thing. So the Nazi people, they defended themselves with an argument. They said, we were told to do this. We didn't do it on our own account. And now the judges had to discuss amongst themselves, is that a valuable defense? Can we accept this? He was told, so-and-so was told. So he's saying he's not guilty. If there's anyone who's guilty, it's the one who told him. You follow the and what do you think did the international community and the judges decide? Did they decide to accept this argument, or did they not accept it? It was not accepted because the human being has a sense of what is right and what is wrong, and when he would give that up, that would be very terrible. And here the Nazis, do we say these words? The word Nazi, we say also here, these Nazis, they had given up their own agency. Agency means the decision making, and that is not good, but they were still responsible for what they did. So, how are you? What is with you? Are you told? Are you acting because you're told? Or are you acting after you have thought about it and made a choice? If you're in the first category, you have not really understood Krishna consciousness, because after Krishna has given all instructions, he steps back and he says, now think about this carefully, deliberate about this carefully, and then do what you feel you should do. No? This is in spiritual life very important. Yes, we get so much recommendation from scripture. Yes, our guru is talking to us. Yes, all the devotees are talking to us. There is a lot of, let us say, guidance, if you wish. But ultimately, every single one of us is asked and inspired to think about everything carefully and then make their own choices. And these choices are always respected by the spiritual master and by Krishna. No? It is respected. Krishna is not intervening in this. No? I notice, for instance, in my relationship to my disciples, there are disciples who do things differently than I have advised, and I'm okay with this. Totally okay if they have thought about it carefully and it's their own decision. Nowadays there are disciples who do not come to disciple meetings. I'm 100% okay with this if they have thought deeply about it. Because who are we to intermingle or to intervene in the in the decision of any individual? It is all right. What God has given us, Krishna has given us the freedom of choice. Another person, I may not be so happy about this, but the decision but I respect it fully, 100% with all my personality. I was myself in this situation when Prabhupada told me I should continue the school. I have not obeyed him. I have said, no, it's too boring. I die, in the school. And Prabhupada, I was very happy. He accepted this and said, okay, then he should not stop to learn anything. Do you know this? I think I've told it many times. No? No spiritual system, no mature spiritual person will ever intervene or keep you from making your own choice. That would, then we would be a sector. No? A genuine spiritual system, freedom is of choice is considered to be absolutely untouchable. It has to be respected and so on and so forth, without even your own personal commentary. Because everyone is on their spiritual path, and they should make decisions. I only think they should be decent. I only recommend, please think about your decision. Think about, don't act just out of emotions and so on, which come and go, but make decisions to which you can stand up and make them in good consciousness. Be kind as you make decisions. No? This is I was taught to tell you. So I have decided for this meeting to talk a little bit more personal and not continue the line of thoughts which I have presented in the lectures. I feel I have said a lot. There's one thing that still needs to be said, and I will do this tomorrow. And now it's up to you to make a choice on this subject matter. And I trust you that you will make wise choices. My only concern is that please do think about it. No, please, we are a mature spiritual society, so we are thinking about these things. Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit personal. Devotees naturally asked, how are you? That is an interest, isn't it? When we see someone after a long time, we want to ask, how are you? No, isn't it? No, is everything all right? I will ask Dionysus how his back is, because last time the back was not 100% okay. It looks a little better, no?
Very much.
Very much, yes. Krishna's mercy. So is it an interesting question for you? How I am? I don't want to bore you with my. Well, I must tell you very honestly, I begin to understand that I'm getting older. The way I can see it is when I sit for long times, when I get up, my legs are a little weak, and I need to find my balance. Balance? No, it's just the leg are feeling as if they are dead. So I have to. I'm working against the aging of the body as good as I can by responsible and conscious diet and exercises, but I do understand no one can exercise death away. I never thought this is possible, that I get old. Of course, my logical mind understood it, but now I can feel it. And I'm seeing in this situation that it's very important now that I train my mind to think of Krishna as much as possible. I see this because I know that at the time of death, my consciousness is all what I I have, what I take with me. I have to leave everything behind, all my dhotis, all my notebooks that are so filled. Sometimes I'm walking, I have kept all my notebooks over the years. It's a huge, huge file. I'm thinking, what to do with this, I will have to leave all this behind. It is difficult for anyone to read because they are written in my own handwriting for my eyes, but I can read very easily, but others will have difficulties and they will be burnt, So I'm thinking like this. And I'm thinking, what is the value of my life? And I think it is these moments which were blessed moments, like when I met Prabhupada. That is a moment I want to hold on. When I massaged him, my dear devotees, and he put his lotus foot on my lap, and I massaged him. I still remember to this day how the whole room in which this took place filled with light, and I want to remember that with me and so on. I remember many wonderful opportunities which were given to me, and yes, I train my mind to think positively, because if I think critical or and not positive, not lovingly, not kindly, I know that I take poison in my mind which will pollute my inner, my subtle body, and it will not be good. So this is something perhaps new that I notice. I'm here for a short time. I don't mind. I was offered a treatment, it's called Kaya Kalpa, by which I could significantly prolong my life, like 80 years, 100 years. But I have said no. I will use this human form of life as it is naturally given to me, my lifespan, and I will try to be as good as I can, but I don't want to prolong it, not even with Ayurveda. I also don't want to project my whatever is my mind and my consciousness into an artificial intelligent machine, so that I will become immortal as a computer program and talk to you one day. Hello, yes, I'm Sachinanda Swami, I see you. And I'm a robot, which goes beep, 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 beep. Of course, they are now very attractive robots. They can almost imitate the skin, but I don't want this. I want to move on when the time comes, and want to trust Krishna that I will move to, that he will carry me to the next generation. But what I know, my dear devotees, that is that I will leave everything behind me except these, I would call them Krishna moments, moments when I was thinking about Krishna, moments when I was really serving Krishna, moments when I helped devotees, moments when I was in good consciousness. I think that is all what counts. That are the jewels from this human form of life. Another thing which has changed, I think I have not talked here so much about it because I only have come after a year to see you, but I personally am very interested to always think of Krishna, not to remember and not forget him. In our transcendental philosophy, this is called smaranam. Now I feel a person who is only outwardly doing the activities of Krishna, of spiritual life, but not thinking of Krishna, will be a victim of lust, greed, anger, and so on. Perhaps I should say this, the main activity of a devotee is his mind. Devotee means the mind, or more directly, what he thinks of. And there is, in Krishna consciousness, there is this branch of sadhana where meditating or thinking of Krishna is the main activity. That even in the scriptures it is said this activity is accepted by Krishna, exactly like what you do physically with your body for him. So I feel this is very important to learn now as I'm getting older, and I'm very interested in learning this. I'm presently completing one book for the non-devotees about meditation. There are a few things you need to know if you want to make your mind a friend and break old thought patterns. They're absolutely important. I will teach those things, and then I will write a second book for devotees on the various forms of smarana which Prabhupada and our glorious tradition has given to us. I'm very much thinking about this. And I want to travel more. I'm thinking seriously of coming next year to Macedonia, because many times the devotees have invited me for a big Balkan Kirtan event, and I think Macedonia is an interesting place to do that, and there are organizers who are enthusiastic for this. So yeah. What else is there in the life of Satchidananda Swami? I must say I'm very happy. I'm happy because of being grateful to what Krishna gave to me. I just had 3 days ago a discussion with a god brother who was very dear to me, he's still very dear to me, but who was close to me. We served in the same temple. And he will leave the body in I don't know, it could be weeks, it could be months, as we hope. And I asked him, how are you? Your life was not always easy, and our movement did not always understand and appreciate everything. And he said, I'm genuinely grateful because I can see the hand of Krishna behind everything. And then he told me about the things he is grateful for, and his thoughts on his life and why things happened the way they happened. And I thought, well, he is prepared. He is ready to go. And when I put the mobile telephone down, I said to Krishna, I think I said, I spoke with a saint today. And yeah, I'm thinking about all these things. But until that time is there, I think I will leave the body much later than you, because I think I will become 120 years old. How much more is this? 50 years more? 50 years? About 50 years more. I don't think so much about death, really, because I still feel so much enthusiasm and joy and so on. And yeah, until that time, I would love to be more in Vrindavan. I'm now twice a year in Vrindavan. I'm for the month of Kartik and afterwards in Vrindavan and go in the springtime after Nityananda Trayodasi also to Vrindavan, always now since 2 years, because even Radha and Krishna like to lay in the dust of Braj. It is a place from where the soul can go directly back to Krishna by the power of the mercy of Vrindavan Dham. It's a very nice, very good place. So I have faith in this. We have built the Govardhan Retreat Center. More and more devotees, also from Europe, they like to participate in the retreats. We have various retreats there, some with Hari Parshad and Goranga Darshan, so to give just new perspectives and new ideas and so on. So that is going on. The moment we are buying a church in Holland, I'm also part of the team, and it will be a church. I don't know if it will work, but the one man from the church, the Oranian Kirk, likes me very much, and I have requested him. So many churches are now empty in Dutch. Please give the devotees, they are good people, one church. So there's a dedicated team of devotees. I don't think they will put gamshas over the organ, for drying like in other countries. We have such devotees who have that aesthetic taste to do such, but it is, and yeah. What else is there? Like this. And so many things. Every day so many new things happen. Since the age of telephone, you are connected with the whole world. And yes, and I must say I'm very, very happy to be back in the Balkan country. I really, like this retreat. The devotees are, yes, they are a unique branch of devotees. You can not find such a climate or atmosphere like here in other parts of ISKCON. But there's very much from the heart. They are very nice. I like very much. I'm pleasantly surprised how much I appreciate. It's very, very nice. Good. Perhaps these are some. I have not thought really about the presentation, but I wanted to talk like a relative when the other said, "How are you, Kakosti?" I said, "Yes, this is how I am. These are the things that go on in my life, and I'm very happy to have such nice, sincere disciples as all of you. I feel just so proud of you. I rarely express this, but today I spoke with two devotees, and we found out they are already practicing Krishna consciousness since more than 30 years. Oh, I said, congratulations, wonderful. They said, now we are grandparents, see, our grandchild, wow! And I think someone who practices since 30 years, he must have attachment to Krishna. Otherwise, why would they do this? Very, very happy. There's one other thing that is very much in my heart. And I will conclude with this point and then ask you for any questions which you have. I had a discussion with a very senior and respected member of our society. I will not be able to tell you the name because it was very confidential. It was only us two and no recording and so on. So he said he is a little worried for the way our society develops because he sees so much superficiality and a lack of depth. We seem to value people who get a lot of Lakshmi. Not here it's difficult to get Lakshmi, or who build a temple. Like when I come to India, the people ask me, how much money did you collect this year? And I say, if I would tell you, you would faint, but I don't tell you. This is not how you ask them. What you ask when you meet a devotee, it is not at all, has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. This is not the value we should go. How many followers you have on internet? I said, I think very few, but it's not the goal of life, you know. The goal of life is, this is for developing attachment for Krishna. That is at least why I have chosen this path, you know. And this is a danger, that a society becomes values these external results and so on. It is good to serve Krishna and to do your best. And it's nice if someone has a lot of followers and influences them in Krishna consciousness. Yes, that is the service, that is the outreach. But what's about the inreach? Krishna is interested in the purity of the heart, no? As it develops. So the devotee, we were sharing this, and then we said, so what is about us? How we can develop more in Krishna consciousness? And we discussed as friends too about these subjects. So after this discussion, I was going into my place. We had a little apartment which we shared with a wonderful couple, really amazing devotees, very pure in America, with whom I'm connected. They're disciples, and I was thinking about the discussion, and I was thinking myself, how will devotees in this difficult, distractive times, there are so many changes and so many worries. It seems football is the only good thing in the world which happens on a mass scale, because people are coming together and you know, in Bosnia, for instance, I received one message from a devotee there that now people come together. One Muslim person shot the ball to a Catholic person, and the Catholic person shot the ball to a Serbian Orthodox person, who then scored a goal. This is untold in the history of Bosnia, that these ethnic groups work together and don't fight with each other, you know. So okay, if it takes football to bring the people together, why not? this is a sign that our society is quickly degrading, it's quickly going down, because football is not associated with the 4 rules and regulations and intense chanting of the holy name and so on. So it is a sign. Also, devotees understand it's more difficult to get donations. I see that every Vyasa Puja, it's not that I want donations, but there are more and more devotees who come in contact with me, but the donations are becoming very small, which is all right. Who is interested in money? But I see it is more difficult for devotees, to raise the Lakshmi, to buy things and so on. So I hope I'm clear with this, no? That I'm just saying it's more difficult for devotees economically. My example is not very good. If I could, I would take a razor and cut it out of the internet, but it was a wrong example, which gives a wrong impression. It's more difficult. Devotees tell me it's more difficult to earn the money. Benzene, my God, it's double as expensive when you have noted and so on. So I'm asking myself, how will it be possible for the devotees who face so many challenges to keep their spiritual life alive? What do they need to do? It seems they need to work more, there are more anxieties. What can they do to be Krishna consciousness in these times? And my dear devotees, I have no other answer than 2 simple words. Morning monk. Before the day starts with its challenges, if you have spent some time reading, chanting, praying, and so on, then you will take that into your life and you will have a blissful day. But to do that in the evening or in between, at your lunch break, it is very difficult because the mind is very upset already. It's not so pure, it's not so fresh any longer. So this morning monk, some of you are not known to be early risers. Most of us are, for various reasons, not rising just super early. Rise as early as is possible for you without being tired, and each one has a different system. But then, right before you start doing things, do your spiritual program. What I do every morning without fail, except when I'm on the Serbian summer camp and I have so much to do, but I get up, do my hygienic activities, then I do a little exercises, just 10 minutes, so that that I wake up my body, then the circulation is there. Then I sit down. When my mind is very fresh and inspired, I directly chant. When it's not so inspired and it's tired still, or there is a worry inside, I read in a scripture that inspires me, so that my mind rises out of this uninspired state, and then I chant my rounds. That's my sadhana. I read and I chant. If I have not read anything, then after chanting, I read something. Then I usually pray to Krishna. I pray also regularly for all of you, at least for those who I know like me to pray for them. And then the day comes and I'm usually blissful throughout the day. I like to sing a lot through the day, if possible. Sometimes I forget, but then I do all the services that need to be done, which I'm grateful to be able to do. So this could be an idea for you to develop your morning program. Again, if you can't rise so early, for various reasons, because you go to bed later and so on, just have this alone time with Krishna. It will form you. When you have had these times and you are regularly in that time where you touch Krishna's mercy and eternity, my dear devotees, then it will be so nice for you. But if you don't do this, and your sadhana, means your rounds or whatever you do, become a duty, then you will not develop love, not gratitude and so on. You will remain tense when you do this. So I can only recommend you. I've recommended this to many devotees all over the world, and they like it. I get so much positive feedback, and you might like to think about this also and come up with your own version of your morning monk or your time which you spend with Krishna. Time alone with Krishna. Sto myslite? What do you think? Sto myslite? Sto myslíš or myslite? Myslite. It's an interesting concept, Murari Chaitanya. If you look at your day, if you don't do this, it will be very difficult in the morning. It will be very difficult because you have to do this, you have to work, you have to sing in the band, you have to bring your child to school, bring the child back from school. You have to quarrel with your wife, all these things which we do in life. Not quarrel, but maybe we talk in the temperamental way, We are in the Balkans, we talk with some chili in our speech, on our tongue. The wife talks also back with, you talk with one chili on your tongue, she talks back with 2 chilies on her tongue. Normal human interaction. I had to learn this, when I was coming in the early days, and devotees would talk so loud. And I thought, my God, the next thing is they take their pistols out, And later they told me, no, we are just very enthusiastic. Wonderful. What do you think about the morning monk? It is something to think about, no? So this is what I wanted to say. I'm sorry if you expected a very well-structured disciple meeting. I just wanted to talk from my heart to you what occupies my thought, because I feel in your eyes and heart, you wonder, how are you after 1 year? How are you with everything? How is it going in your life? And I thought to talk about this today. No? Krishna. Sometimes I have dreams. My dream is I talk and give a lecture, and next is a hall where there's kirtan. And in the dream, I'm thinking, should I not run to the kirtan? And I'm becoming very conflicted emotionally. Now it's not the case. Now it's not. I'm hearing, is it a sweet kirtan? Is it a slow kirtan? Like this. Hare Krishna. We still have a little time. Do you wish to ask any question that is on your mind? Murari Chaitanya. I say your name right, Murari Chaitanya, not Chaitanya Murari. First, yes. We have a microphone for you.
I like this idea that you said morning monk and sadhana and everything. We are telling over the years and years. But I wish maybe to make like something is missing still. What I was thinking about all these years. Let's make the morning monk and prepare ourselves for the day, you say, everything, school, children, everything. But I was trying to, all these years, and still trying to continue in the day, seeing Krishna in everyone.
Wonderful.
In, for example, my patients, when they come for the treatment, I see more and more Krishna's arrangement there, connections, and I don't want to criticize the process or what we are talking all these years, but they're missing that we see in these three Krishna, for example. To see in my movement of my hand, to see Krishna behind it, because I don't know really how this hand now waving towards you. I don't know how this works. So Krishna is behind the movements. And you see the bird just flying over. She can't fly without Krishna. We can't move without Krishna. We can't think about without
Secret pilot.
Everything is Krishna's energy. I see this whole. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and Prabhupada is how to say, speaking about in a lot of comments, that we see Krishna everywhere. So I like to think a little bit like this, how to say, to make also this, to add this to my life, to not see him only in holy name, only in this practice that we everywhere, behind everything. So when I started, I had in my life when I was working in this shop before, I always had this confusion that talking about this. I struggle in my work, and it's so hard to work there because that's not a chanting, that's not a bhajans. So I was always in some, how to say, procep. Some gap between life and sadhana. So I'm Krishna conscious only when I'm in sadhana. When I'm out of some process of sadhana, I'm like spacing out. So I was struggling, and that was getting on my nerves and everything. So I think like there should be some addition to all this sadhana to try to speak about it, to see Krishna behind everything. Not only chanting morning monk is fantastic and all this is fantastic, but all the time behind everything. Maybe I wish to hear more lectures like this, more spiritual maybe lectures than just these rules, but the spiritual viewing, spiritual, how to say, understanding and seeing and something like this. I would somehow.
I would 100% agree. And I think your observation is correct. I would like to encourage you to see where the mistake is. Is it in the philosophy? Is it in the interpretation of the philosophy? For instance, on this point, to always remember Krishna, to never forget him, is the goal of Krishna, of all rules and regulations. In fact, all regulations are saeva kinkara, they are the servants of this principle. And it is, I want to congratulate you that after so many years you have seen this and so on. You know, when we are a movement, and our movement is geared a lot to attract new people, to help them start their spiritual life. But that's why we sometimes have the feeling that the preaching and so on is so much, you know, on this, do that, and strict and out, and a distinction is made between matter and spirit and all this. This is a symptom of a preaching movement who wants to start people. At least that is how it has become. It has become like this because perhaps the first devotees, or the devotees who were attracted to Krishna consciousness, were come from such a fallen background, that they felt, oh yeah, no hashish, no this, no that, you know, and so on. But yes, many devotees now feel like this. They would like to be in the presence of God everywhere. Today I talked to, I don't know to whom I talked, but this is what I saw in Prabhupada. He taught us really. I told this many times when it was possible for us as disciples to go with him on a morning walk. Now, because everyone wanted to go, there would be 500 people going around him. There was a system to say, okay, today your turn, tomorrow your turn. Then I forgot, I think it was the temple presidents, or I don't remember how it was. So I came on, I wanted to go, but I had to wait 2 days, and then I could go with him on a morning walk, and I noticed how he was really commenting everything in Krishna. What I clearly remember is this endearing example, and I think I told this many times. He was standing under a tree where there was a little bird in a nest, and the bird was on the edge of the nest, and it looked that he was afraid to fly, or so Prabhupada encouraged him somehow, and then the bird flew. Maybe it was his first attempt to fly, and Prabhupada laughed and was happy with the bird when the bird landed, and somehow he stood there very proud of himself. And then Prabhupada said, so how does the bird know to fly? And many instinct Prabhupada and this and that. And then Prabhupada said, no, they don't know, the scientists don't know. He knows because Krishna is inside. He tells him, fly like this, fly like that. And I was really very, very impressed by this. There were many other incidences on that one walk and in the time when I was with Prabhupada. And the way a pure devotee sees the world is only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And the goal is Yomam Pashyanti Savasaha, the one who sees Krishna everywhere and everything in Krishna is never separated from Krishna and always together with Krishna. He lives, he's never separated, and he lives in Krishna. So yeah, you have found something very valuable. You should cultivate this. Not cultivate, you should try to stay on that level of Murari Chaitanya. I'm very happy and proud that you have this. Proud is not the way, it's not the word, that you have said yes. And sometimes in lectures we don't find so much Krishna. That's why we have tried to develop the Govardhan Retreat Center, so that we talk more about Krishna and Krishna Katha. I also talked about Krishna the Vilas pastimes, the Vilas one evening, and I could see for some devotees it was very fascinating, and others got restless because they are not used to hear this. No? So we have to talk to both devotees, no? New devotees and older devotees, and you know, the mistake you could do is, as you advance and things become clear, instead of looking forward and going full strength with this, you look backward and you say, are others doing what I do? And you then, if they don't do, you become critical and you lose everything. That happens a lot, because when we criticize others for their lack of advancement, Krishna is not happy with us. So when you see something that is a gift of the Lord, continue to look further. Don't turn back to the old self or people who do things the way you are. If there are lectures that do not so fully inspire you, don't criticize the lecturer. Try to see if there's anything that inspires you on your path. No? And if there are some lectures that are so boring, or some videos where devotees are criticized, then no need to engage with that. In a spiritual movement, you find all types of people, on all types of levels of advancement. So why should we criticize? We should be happy that even those devotees start their spiritual path. We should encourage them. By criticism of devotees, we have heard this so often. First of all, there's no reason. Everyone is on their level. And second of all, Krishna does not appreciate this. He gives everyone a chance. Why should we not give everyone a chance and be kind to them? But coming back to the real, to your point, yes. I also want to always feel Krishna. You can talk with Krishna. When we go walking, I always see this Krishna here, this Krishna there. I want to, and I feel sad if I don't have this vision. I feel admired. It's not the right thing. Thank you for saying this, and thank you for venturing. And by the way, Krishna Murari, I have given now an answer where I have both encouraged you, and I have also slightly warned you, be careful to not look back and criticize. But I must say, many devotees feel like you, and they are good devotees. It is something which is. You are correct in your observation, but just be careful that you don't lose it because of making a small mistake. No, but the observation is, and there are now so many. You know, if you look for nectar, there's now a lot of nectar, really a lot. Look at the Amarendra's lectures. Look at there's so many wonderful lectures dripping with rasa, and I mean so many. And you can choose what you wish to hear, what helps you to advance. You know what Keshava Maharaj says about this? He made a good observation. What devotees need now is not more tattva, they need more lila to hear about Krishna, because they don't need to be convinced any longer. Madhuchanda, you're not the body. you have accepted that 30 years ago. You need to hear now about something that sparks your interest in Krishna. You know? More experience, less philosophy. However, everything needs, everything in us to understand Krishna, both tattva and rasa is necessary. And tattva, the truthful philosophical principles, sometimes suffer in Kali Yuga, and then whatever you build on a mistaken fundament will not last long. So therefore, Hare Krishna. What can I do? I like chanting very much, you know. Yes, Govinda Nandan. Govinda. We have a microphone for you.
Alex, on your lectures you said to us that it is good that we read Goswami literature, and my question is there any general succession of books with which we start and then proceed, or is it an individual thing which should be consulted with you?
There are 4 books according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It starts with who talk on the goal of Krishna consciousness, and many of them, or a few of them, the main books are authored by the Prayojana Acharya Raghunath Goswami. Mana Shiksha is the instructions to the mind. It starts here. Then there is Braj Vilas Stava. It introduces us to the world of Krishna, his associates, and so on. We will hear about Variyasi, who is so proud of Krishna. It's the grandmother of Krishna, that her feet don't touch the earth. And she calls Krishna Natichand. Natichand means, oh, moon of grandchildren. So it's Variyasi, and it tells us about the whole Krishna's family and so on. Then the next is Vilap Kushum Manjali. There we are introduced to the service of Srimati Radharani, a very extensive description of the morning services. And finally, the 4th book is Shri Vishakananda Stotram. It's a book which gives pleasure to Vishaka, one of the 8 gopis, and it talks about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. These are 4 books, but there are many books which branch from there. I like to say to the devotees who are interested in this subject, there is a beautiful book to enter, or prayer hymn. It's like a hymn. It's Kapanya Panjika. This is an abbreviated form of the Udkalavali Valari. Udkalavalari is the last composition of Rupa Goswami. It's a beautiful work. Rupa Goswami describes in the first verse what this book is about. He says, a very unfortunate person in the midst of the forest of Vrindavan puts his finger in the mouth and cries, "Oh Lord of Vrindavan, oh Mistress of Vrindavan, Queen of Vrindavan, oh Lord of Vrindavan, where are you?" And then it describes quite systematically how we can obtain the favor of Lord and Queen of Vrindavan. Udkalika Valari. Oh, very good. I have given, on all these books, I have given lectures in the Govardhan Retreat Center, but I like to just say the worst thing I can imagine is to talk about these things, and some of my audience are getting bored or uninterested. You know, I feel that that the most beautiful and sacred things should not be used to entertain some parts of your audience who have a liking. Is it something to come up with? Rupa Raghunatha Pade yes, the books of the Goswamis are written to give us entry. To begin with, you might like to study Upadeshamrita. These are the nectarian instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's amazing how this book came together. At the end of his pastimes here on the earth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on the beach of Puri, and he looked out in the ocean and shouted, Yamuna, Yamuna. Then he looked back and saw the forest. Oh, Vrindavan, oh, Mahavan. You know, he saw Vrindavan in Puri. And then he gave the essence of all of his instructions. If you like to study that with a very good commentary, I recommend the lecture series of Hari Parshad Prabhu. And I did hear, the plan is there to make a book out of it, because it's very, very, very nice information. And it is a very good. Why do I say entry? Entry means when you have entered, then the entry, the door is through which you entered is no longer important to you because you have gone further. And it's also, it helps you to come in contact. I have not heard the entire series, but I heard the one on the holy name, Tanama Rupa. Because for me, as a devotee of Krishna and a disciple of Prabhupada, chanting the holy name is my most important thing. And I feel very, very much that the holy name reveals everything we need to know on our journey, and that's also my experience. So I'm the holy name man, you know. But it doesn't mean that I devour these books also. I read them, I've read them many times, but my practice is really chanting the holy name and remembering Radha and Krishna. First the name, then the form, then the qualities, especially his liking of devotees, and then the pastimes of Krishna. I think also that is the route which Mahaprabhu gave. That's the route which starts as Sriva Sangam and brings us to Radha and Krishna's pastime. But some devotees they cannot relate to this, so here are 4 books, 4 guidebooks. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hema Gauri, Nitya Kishori.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I have a question about the part where you were saying that there was a phase where I used to do...
Please focus, because we have now little time.
Yeah.
Come right to the essence. Mm-hmm.
So after the phase to do what you are told to do, even though intuition might be telling me other way to avoid offenses or so on, as I mature, or as we mature, do you suggest that we use more intuition? And how is intuition interrelated with the proper, or how is it a result of proper chanting, reading, sattvic life? How is it combined? And how do you actually inspire us to use our intuition in the best way?
Wonderful question. Would you be so kind to translate that in the local language?
Htjela sam nakon faze raditi što ti se kaže i iako možda intuicija nekad govori drugačije da izbjegnemo uvrede, da li je sazrijevanje u bhakti to da počnemo koristiti intuiciju i koliko je ona u korelaciji sa satvičnim životom, čitanje spisa i koliko nas Guru Maharaj ohrabruje da koristimo intuiciju u duhovnom životu.
Yeah, very good. Very good question. First of all, I was so happy when I read in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writing that a devotee should never do something that goes against the voice of his conscience. Conscience means svavest, isn't it? Savest, yeah. Wow. That is very important, because then this problem would start, which I said, that some people did things and as an excuse they said, we were told by our superiors, that and so on. It's not accepted. So when your conscience, it's not consciousness, it's conscience. Do I say it right in English also? Conscience. Conscience. Do not go against it. See, because Krishna, freedom is so important for the devotees. There is an immanent compass in us that tells us what is right and wrong. But also now, Hema Gauri, because we are new in spiritual life, we may make a mistake. Does this mean I should not consider instructions and guidelines and so on and so on? Of course I must consider them. Balanciere that thing. Now must be balanced. I would like to give you an answer. An example. In the old times, we were very poor, and our GBC told us we should go to the orchard. Do you know what is the orchard? Where fruits are grown. Orchard, how do we say orchard? Yes, and steal the apples for Radha Madan. I was sincerely thinking, steal apples?